Hello and welcome back to Off the Post. In today's episode, I'll be discussing how Michael Carrick rediscovered Manchester United's DNA. But before that, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's very much appreciated, and it goes a long way with me build a small community on my channel. Okay, we've recently just hit 292 subscribers. We're only 8 away from smashing my main target, 300. So let's go and do it, shall we? But yeah, let's get straight into the episode, shall we? Okay. For me, I might have to give a nice little apology to Michael Carrick. I'm gonna have to say my bad. Okay, I'm gonna put my hands up and just say I'm sorry. Okay, Michael Carrick, I did not know you was gonna win your first 3 games in your Manchester United managerial career. That's just my opinion. I was looking at it, beating your first two, beating your two biggest rivals in Man City and Arsenal. Absolutely exceptional scenes, and the way he did it as well. Trying some stuff out with new players in new positions and whatnot. In the likes of Mbeumo being a main striker, in the likes of bringing in Kobe Mainoo back into the team, having him next to Casemiro, having Bruno Fernandes in his natural number 10 position, if you like. For me, it just worked wonders, and it's gave like Manchester United side a breath of fresh air, hasn't it? Honestly, some of the combinations they were playing in all 3 of these games at the moment is absolutely amazing. It's transformed the whole fan base, really, hasn't it? And the players as well, just because it's absolutely crazy what a few wins can do to your fan base's, motivation, attitude towards a season. Because they're talking about finishing in the top 4, and they were not thinking anywhere near that with Ruben Amorim in charge earlier a few weeks ago. For me, it goes to show, fan bases are very, very emotional. They're very, very, fickle, if you like. They've had such a poor first half of the season. I played Manchester United. It was very, very bleak. Under Ruben Amorim, you knew what he's going to get week in, week out. Honestly, it was just bad performance after bad performance. And now under Michael Carrick, it's like a breath of fresh air. Brian Bremo looks like an absolute brilliant striker, even though, of course, he's more of a right winger. And that's where he probably will transition into in the next couple of weeks, of course. Especially now that Benjamin Sesko is scoring a few goals. That goal against Fulham, absolutely amazing. Fantastic touch, nice touch, okay, from a nice little delivery. Into the box, had time and space. He doesn't even look where he's going to strike the ball. He just knows it off instinct, okay. And he goes and scores top bins strike past the Fulham goalkeeper, Bern Leno, I'm pretty sure, in that game at least. And I can talk about so many players that have been performing in these last 3 games. Brian Bremo, Patrick Dugu, okay. It's so unfortunate that he's got injured because some of the goals he was scoring, he scored against, Man City, he scored against Arsenal, 2 of your biggest rivals, and he was playing left winger, okay. Absolutely amazing. He was on like that Gareth Bale generational run, wasn't he, in those 2 games? And it's so unfortunate he's got injured because honestly, he could be the next best thing coming out of Manchester United, like in their like youth, in their younger players, if you like, for me, anyways. But Matthias Cunha fitting in like an absolute glove as well. Him scoring some fantastic goals. Okay, he scored that goal against Fulham. Okay, from that really tight angle, just smashing it into the roof of the net. I could honestly give so much praise to this Manchester United side at the moment. And yeah, for me, it just goes to show some of the tactics like Michael Carrick has sort of, embedded into that United team and sort of what they was missing under Ruben Amorim as well. Just playing the players in the right positions, you can see it works wonders for their, their motivation and their connections because they're starting to look like they've played together for years and years. Even though, of course they have, haven't they? But under Ruben Amorim, they just looked lost as a team. There was no cohesive unit there, was it? And at the moment, playing, going back to that 4 at the back formation has seemed to work wonders for them because you could definitely tell they're not a 3 at the back formation team, are they? In the likes of, for me at the moment, I could praise the whole team because they have been great, haven't they? But again, for me, I could praise the whole team because they have been great. They honestly have, and they have looked very impressive. But again, it's only been 3 games, okay? From that point of view, you don't want to get ahead of yourself, do you? A lot of Manchester United fans and Arsenal fans, you can throw both of those 2 fan bases in there. They're both very emotional, aren't they? You know what I mean? If they go and win, if they win one weekend, it's like they're winning the league. And if they lose one weekend, it's like they're getting relegated. There's no in between with Manchester United and Arsenal fans, especially like online, when you look at social media, I'm not too sure about when you go to the stadium and whatnot. Obviously, I've not been to those grounds, but from a social media perspective, you know, they're very emotional, they're very fickle, and when you win one game, it just goes crazy, and when you lose one game, you know it's dramatic, and it's a disaster class, and you got to sack the manager now. It's just weird how sometimes fans go over the top, go overboard, and they just don't, settle themselves down a little bit, and just take one game at a time, like other fans do in the league and whatnot. But so from that point of view, you got to look to the league table, and if you think to yourself, can can Manchester United finish in the top five this season? They're currently fourth in the league on 41 points, 1 point ahead of Liverpool, 1 point ahead of Chelsea, 2 points ahead of Liverpool. For me, when you look at that, it's definitely between those main three sides who are going to finish in the top five this season. And for me, it's got to be Manchester United versus Liverpool at the moment. For me, even though they're 2 points behind, I don't think Chelsea's going to do it just because they're an unexperienced side. They've got a lot of players in their roster, in their team, and also it's Liam Rosinya. His first season in the Premier League, will be able to do it in the crunch moments in the Premier League, last 10 games of the season. I'm not too sure. For me, at the moment, the first three teams in Arsenal, Man City, and Aston Villa are pretty much set. I don't think they're going to be able to catch up to those three teams. I've seen a lot of Manchester United fans say that Aston Villa are going to fall out of the top five because of all their injury problems, because they're, back-to-back home losses, if you like, and whatnot. They're gonna drop out the top five and take their place, and even and potentially overtake Man City as well. Their rivals in Man City, but I feel like that's just because rivalry and whatnot. I can't see it happening whatsoever. Even though Man City have had a poor season compared to their recent standards in recent years, I still think they're going to finish second, potentially even first as well. Because they're only still, I want what's that, 6 points of Arsenal, only 2 wins in it. So from that point of view, I don't think they're out of the title race just yet. And if they're not out of the title race, Aston Villa can't be out of the title race either. But Manchester United, I definitely think they're going to finish top five now. But again, I don't want to get ahead of myself, because once they beat Man City and Arsenal, Michael Carrick himself was saying in the press conference how the main test was the game against Fulham, okay? Because we've seen it over recent seasons that these Manchester United players, have been able to get up themselves for those bigger games, those rival games against the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea. When it comes to those playing against the top six, that's where Manchester United thrive. They get good results against the top six. However, when they play against the bottom half of the table, they always seem to struggle against those lesser opposition sides, if you like. They've always seemed to sort of they've not been able to beat the low block, if you like, and they've not been able to create enough chances to score you the goals. You did see it in this game against Fulham, where even though they did score the first two goals, they let them equalise and get a second one as well, didn't they? So it goes to go to 2-2, and then there was an absolute wonder strike from Benjamin Sesko that sort of got him out of trouble and managed to get the 3 points over the line. Absolute fantastic way to do it as well, by the way. Benjamin Sesko, hopefully that gives him the confidence to thrive forward in the second half of the season and start scoring some goals, because at the moment he's getting some links with like Fixtures to be one of the worst signings of the summer, really, if you like, if you believe that nonsense and whatnot at the moment. I don't think he's been a worst signing of the summer, but he has come a lot. He has sort of come in with a lot of pedigree from the Bundesliga, from RB Leipzig, scoring a few goals here and there. So Manchester United fans probably did expect him to come good early, and he has, at least, anyways. Hopefully now he'll start to come good and kick on in his Manchester United career. Anyways, I just want to quickly end the video talking about, can they actually finish in top four? I think they can. I think it'll be Arsenal, Man City, Aston Villa, Manchester United, and then probably Liverpool in those top five, top six positions. But anyways, let's end the video with some questions, okay? How has Michael Carrick rediscovered Manchester United's DNA? Do you feel like Michael Carrick can get the job at the end of the season? Has he done a good enough job so far? Do you need to see a little bit more from Michael Carrick? Has he transformed that side? Has he, brought the connections back together? Has he brought, life into that Manchester United dressing room, okay? Brian Mbeumo, Bruno Fernandes, Kobbie Mainoo, all these players are looking exceptional, plus many more. Patrick Dogu, Matthias Cunha, all these players looking exceptional. But yeah, before that, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. Goes a long way to help me build a small community on my channel. We've recently just hit 292 subscribers, only 8 away from hitting my main target, 300. Let's go and smash it, shall we? And yeah, I really do hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.